Hello everyone. So today we are going to do Leetcode daily challenge, rotate image. So this is medium level question, and before going to the question, let's read out the question statement and then about the constraint, and accordingly we'll come up with the solution. So now let's get started. So we are given with n cross n 2D matrix representing an image, and we are required to rotate the image by 90 degrees, that is clockwise. We all know how clock works, so in that direction we are required to rotate it. And you have to rotate the image in place, so that simply means that we are not required to take any other extra space. So yeah, they have already explained that, which means you have to modify the input 2D matrix directly. Do not allocate another matrix to do the rotation. So this is the thing here. Now earlier how I was thinking was that we are required to rotate it 90 degrees, right? So one is basically at the left hand, means all the things which are being there at the left hand side, they would be simply rotated in that manner, they all get to the top of this, right? So I thought that according to diagonals or according to indices we can do so. Like one is required to be done at the, means the one which is at the left at the starting, it will be at the right, and then the one which is in the first column will become, in actual the one which is there in the first column, it will whole become as the first row. So like this only I was trying to come up with some solution, but although I just failed in that. So I'll show you that what exactly the solution is for this. So before that, let us go to the constraint. So constraint is basically this one, that n is basically equals to matrix dot length and matrix of I dot length, which simply represent that column and row count both are same in this. Actually, in our +1 and +2 classes, we have done the transposition of a particular matrix can only be done if that particular matrix is n cross n. Basically, it both rows and column count is same. So here also that transposition could be used as per this constraint. Now next thing is that n is basically till 20. So at max there could be 20 rows and 20 columns only. So that's why if we require n square solution, n cube solution, n cube, although it won't work, means it would be there. But even if we come up with n raised to power 4 solution, then also it will work. So that's how these constraints are. And each block would be having, either it could be negative number also or it could be positive number also, and that also is up to 10 raised to power 3. So basically even if we add them, then still it will work out, but in this we are not required to add anything. Although in swapping thing we can add and subtract, because there is a way of swapping by adding and subtracting. So in that it could be used, but still it comes under, but that is adding and subtraction, so it already comes under that what we say, integer range only. So that's why these constraints works for any sort of even brute force solution. But now let's get started that how we will be actually doing this question. So here's the catch. Means first thing, the input array which is being given, not the array but array of array, basically two-dimensional array, or you can say two-dimensional vector. This is being given to us. We are required to basically transpose that. And what does transpose mean? It simply means we are basically flipping all our elements by keeping the x's as a diagonal. So in that manner we will be flipping our elements. So here you can see that in this line, basically on the line axis of this diagonal, so here we were having 4 and here 2, right? We have flipped it. So now it becomes 2 and 4. So 7 and 3 are being flipped, so it becomes 3 and 7. Then 8 and 6 is flipped, so it becomes 6 and 8. So like this only we have flipped all the elements across the diagonal. So that is what is meant by transposition. And that is the first step which we will be doing here. And while this transposition, because we are doing that across the diagonals, so that's why what we would be doing is we will be simply taking our rows from the 0 only, but our columns would start from exactly from I. And that's just because of the fact so that we could directly flip across the diagonal only. And then after that, what we are required to do is we are required to flip it across this particular vertical middle axis. So that is the thing which we would be doing here. So when we would be doing that, so as we do that, then in that context, we will be easily able to rotate our matrix exactly the 90-degree clockwise. You can see that while we did the transposition, because of that only, we got all our middle elements which were being required, because 4 was required to be in the middle of this, right? And then our 6, which is here, it was required to be in the middle here, right? So we got all these elements like this. Means our row, means our first column has almost become our first row, except for the case of this 7. So not the 7, except for the case of this, because here we are required to just flip it, right? So except for the case of that, we are required to flip left to the right. So that's the thing, and that we are now required to do in this particular scenario. So here we will be starting from 0 for our I and go till n, but as we are flipping from the middle, so how it got this? So as we are flipping from the middle, right? So that's why we will be going till n by 2 only, and like that only we will be easily able to flip, and thus we will get our answer. So this is the whole context of this question, and the way we are doing by using 2 loops. So the time complexity would be n into m, or even you could say it would be some amount less than that. And the space complexity which would be there, that space complexity would be order of 1, because we are doing in place operations and not using any extra space. So this was for its explanation. So now let me walk you through to its code. So here comes the part for the coding. Actually, I tried earlier one, so that's why I just commented it. So here is the part for the code. So in this code, you can see how I have done. This is the main one which was given to us. So first we are doing transposition, then we are reflecting it across the middle one. So this is what we are doing, flipping across the diagonals. So here only thing is that we are starting from j equals to I, and everything is as it is as usual. But here we are just swapping it. We are first taking j and I. Basically, whatsoever earlier the thing would be this one only, because it is across the diagonal. So for across the diagonal only, we are flipping like this, means interchanging these positions. That's what we are doing. So that's why we are taking like this. Yeah. So means ji and ij, and then this, basically just swap it. That we are doing. And then this is across, means like this after transposition. So here we will be starting from 0, 0, but going till the middle only, because we require to be flipping as per the vertical middle axis. And then here again we will be swapping ij and then ij, and then this one I and n minus j minus 1. That is this row and this row, right? So the last row is basically n minus whatsoever j value would be there, we will subtract that one. And why we are doing minus 1 is because this is starting from 0, right? So that's how our last one would be there, and flipping across the middle one. So like this only, first by doing transposition, then by doing reflection, we will be able to get our answer. So I hope you like the explanation, and this was all for this particular question. If you like the explanation, please do like and subscribe to to my channel. And yeah, also do share among your friends so that it could be a bigger support for me and even a great motivation also that my work is being supported by all who are my viewers. So yeah, thank you.